And what was it that's going through your mind when you first jumped on the call? Like,
Oh,
it's probably a scam, right?
I would say that was 100% what I thought it was. I mean, I didn't know you.
Stuart was grinding away, maxed out and stuck, not knowing how to take his business further. But after working with me, he raised his prices, freed up time for his family, and is making more than ever. In this video, find out how he got the Scotsman to the top of his game. All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I've got a very good friend and client of mine, Stuart, from the old school barbershop all the way up in Glasgow. How you doing, Stuart? Great to have you here, brother. And as always, looking forward to diving into your story today. How's things going?
I'm good, Jay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Having a
Awesome.
good day. So, yeah, all good,
Great
mate.
to have you on the channel, man. Great to have you here. Thank you for taking the time out to do this interview with me today and sharing your story. Let's jump straight in. And first of all, we're going to start off by highlighting the starting point. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. We'll go through them and just answer them the best way you can. And we'll find out and let these guys know about your journey. What was the biggest struggle you were facing in your shop before joining the program?
Biggest struggle in the shop I was facing was trying to find new staff, and really getting to the point to. I think I got to the point within the business I could take it as far myself. So obviously I wanted to get somebody else to kind of coach me along to get me over the next hurdle in business. So that's why I came to yourself.
Sure, sure. So I remember we started first phase of what we was doing was trying to find what was the next step for us to, expand the team and grow. But since then, we've obviously dived into the business and realized and found another turning point as we
Yeah.
do all the time. We'll get into that in a little bit. But so the main problem you had was not like being able to find people to come and work in the business, right?
Yeah, it's finding the right people to come into the business.
Yeah, I got you. And what was it that kept you up at night thinking, fucking hell, something needs to change here, man? Like, what am I going to do?
Well, I think I got to the point. I've got two young kids, so I was getting to the point I wasn't getting to spend much time with my family, and obviously that's the key. I mean, I've been working flat out now for 13 and a half years, so it just got to the point I started to realise that I need to be about for my children. So I have to find ways of scaling the business to start getting to the point that I can slightly take a bit of step back from the business and spend more time with the kids and things like that.
Sure. Was you finding that the business was taking a lot of your time up and,
Oh
probably
yeah,
eating away
I
at family
I
time?
would say I would say that the business is it still is in a way, but I mean it becomes an obsession because you want to succeed, and you want to keep growing the business. And basically, I had the mindset at the time that I always had to be in the business for that to happen. And I mean that was really eating up all my social life and any spare time I had. I mean, I worked late at night pretty much. And when I first started out, I mean, I was working every day. So it's just that getting to the point that you can find a bit of time to spend, and obviously a bit of time for yourself as well, away from the businesses. It's key.
Yeah. I mean, I work with a lot of business owners who they put themselves in this grind mode, where they self-sabotage and they fuck themselves up in order to like provide for their family, provide for the kids, not giving themselves time, giving everyone in the team everything before themselves, and it is frustrating, man, because I've been through it myself many times in the years and had to learn the hard way and go through that hard grind. How did it feel yourself, like despite knowing how hard you were working in the shop? And not saying you haven't seen any growth because you've become very successful, and we'll get onto more about the success of the shop, but obviously you got it to a level, and then it's very frustrating when you put everything in and you just can only reach a certain level, right? I know that from personal experience myself.
Well, I agree with you, yeah, because I think, I mean, as a human being, there's only so much you can actually take in. I mean, one of the key things is within any sector of business is you've got to have allies within the business to help being able to basically discuss things. And if you've got queries, or maybe sometimes that you're not 100% sure about, if you're perfectly honest, and maybe you need a wee bit of reassurance here and there. I think that's the key thing to have.
Yeah, I remember when we first had our conversation, like the first coaching call when you joined the program. I think he was just like, you know what, this feels fucking good, just to because there's so much pressure on us as bosses and business owners, we're at the top of the food chain and we're like, fucking, there's no one here else to like lean on. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes we need to lean on some people sometimes, you know what I mean? We got problems too, right? At the top. So I think I remember vaguely you saying to me, I always remember it like, but it's just nice to talk to someone else about my problems, you know, like not problems, but things that, you know, I'm interested in discussing within the business.
The key thing has been able to share ideas with somebody, isn't it? I mean, you might have friends outside barbering that you might be friends with that have their own businesses and things like that. But I think the key to anything is being able to discuss certain issues with somebody that understands fully what you're talking about. I mean, it's key to have experience within barbering and then being able to share that knowledge and any ideas you have with another barber that's going through the same problems as yourself or has went through the same problems with yourself in the past.
Yeah. No, I fucking totally agree. So let's move on from that now and sort of go into, yeah, okay, cool. We've realized that shit, we've kind of hit a ceiling here. What was it that said in your mind, or what stood out and said, fuck it, enough is enough. I need to join this program with this man that I've just seen on Instagram.
Well, being honest, I mean, as I've discussed with you, Jay, I always think the universe comes at certain times, and things are meant to come by at certain times. And I mean, if I speak to my partner about it, I mean, she was getting near every other night that I was getting to the point that I really need to be able to work with somebody and kind of coach, as I say, new ideas and fresh fresh ideas within the business, and it's key to have somebody like yourself. And I think when you popped into my DMs, it was pretty much the timing was right, and I don't know. I think you just came in at the right time, and me myself, I was looking for somebody to be able to liaise with and stuff like that. And obviously, when we first had a conversation, getting to know each other, I started to realise that I like yourself, and I think you understood where I was coming from and what I'm looking for, and I think that's why it's working what we're doing. So
Yeah, sure. Like I mean, just personally, just as a coach, like I've seen you've come on leaps and bounds from from our first conversation, and like we changed just one kind of thing in the business, and it's like being totally honest and transparent, I haven't really done anything except from just give you the encouragement and confidence to do what you already knew to do. And that's a lot of the coaching process that I go through, is like sometimes it's just having someone else to bounce an idea off and go, you know what, yeah, fuck it, man, just go out and kill it and smash it.
yeah.
Obviously it's not always plain sailing. We've had a very good run now, me and you, and we've got ideas and golf trips beyond what we're doing right now. But yeah, I'm excited for that. But at first, I actually remember you hesitating a little bit on our first call. And what was it that's going through your mind when you first jumped on the call? Like,
Oh,
it's probably a scam, right?
I would say that was 100% what I thought it was. I mean, I didn't know you, so I mean, I was thinking. I think, as you know me now, Jay, I'm not exactly the most technically advanced person on the planet, and especially when somebody comes to me through, obviously social media and things like that. Everything that you hear about it, there's scams right, left, and centre. But I think it's just the key was getting to have a conversation with you, and I think we maybe had 2 or 3 conversations before we actually finalised what we were going to do. And I think that's just comes down purely to you've got to find somebody that you can trust, because I mean you could have been anyone. I mean you could have been. Do you know what I mean? Gaining trust is the key, I think.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get you, man. Yeah. So for everyone who's watching this, probably is it a scam or what is it?
No, it's definitely not a scam. Well, not that I've found out yet. No, I wouldn't say it's a scam. I would say purely it's a coaching program that is going to help you grow and going to help you speak and liaise with other barbers at all different kind of stages of their career. And I think it's only a good thing. It's like a network of good barbers, and I mean it's not just in the UK. I mean there's people in Europe and there's people in the US, so it's good to be able to get some sort of understanding what everyone's thinking across the globe pretty much. So that's what it's good. Yeah.
I kind of like I've got hundreds of clients that I've worked with in the past and present. And with you, there's always this one avenue that I find when I work with a client that stands out, one kind of one kind of avenue. And with you, I think it's like I'm kind of like a fire that inspires you, and then you like because I'll give you something and you'll just go away and have fucking mad ideas and come up with some mad ideas. So for me, it's really inspirational just to come in and be like the motivator and go, oh, yeah, bro, what about this? And then like you'll go away and then you'll think you're a processor. You think about things the same way I do. So it's like we just got this mad thing going on. Like when we, like this. Well, I won't say too much because we don't want to reveal what we're doing right now moving forward. But just bringing in the guest spots, looking for the other barbers, allowing people, like you said at the start of this call, allowing everything in the universe to come to you rather than you going out and chasing it. Just we're very, very similar on the same thinking path. So yeah, like what was it, by the way, that pushed you through the hesitation on the call? Like, what was that? Obviously you thought, okay, I got on this call. Who's this dodgy London geezer getting on the phone with me? He's chatting me in the DMs, got on the call with him. He's promised me left, right and center. All right, what was it that pushed you through that hesitation? Just for someone else at home who might...
I think purely because I seen you similar to myself. I mean, you're a dodgy London geezer and I'm a dodgy Glaswegian geezer, so I think we had a pretty much good understanding there. But I think it's just, again, it's people buy from people, and if in jobs I've done previously, I've done a lot of sales and things like that, and if you can find somebody that you can really see a bit of yourself in, and they can give you that little push in life, maybe I said that it's really worth taking a chance on, and at this moment in time I believe that it's the right decision. So no.
Awesome. All right, let's move on a little bit further now down the line. Now you've been in the program a couple of months, everything's going pretty well. What would you say is right now at this one moment from what we've done so far, what was the one game-changing strategy or lesson, or just something from the mindset inside the program, working with me personally? What was it, one thing that turned things around for you and got you thinking in a different way and go, right, this is actually going to start fucking working and I'm switched on now?
I think right at the start, I mean, I think I came to it, and as I said, the concern I had was trying to find the right people to fit into the business. But I mean, the more that I've looked into it, and the more that I've kind of looked into different avenues of where I want to take it and things, it was like a conversation we had, I think it was a fortnight ago, and I pretty much just decided, I was like, right, everything I've said to you, we just ripped out the bit of paper, flung it in the bin, and I went, nah, I think the way to take this forward now is focusing purely on the brand and the story behind the old school barbershop and really selling that. And I think by doing that, I think that'll then, as we say about the universe and the timing of things, I think that'll then attract the right people that can see what the ethos of the business is all about, and they'll want to be part of that and hopefully grow within the business to extend the brand.
Yeah, I love that approach, man. I remember. So just for clarity, anyone who's watching, like when we, like Stuart said at the start of this, we initially started working together to hire more people, and then we started that process. We begun that process, even to the point we recorded an ad and edited it and was ready to launch it. And then, like, for me, my next question to you was, tell me about the moment when you realized, shit, this is actually working, or shit, I've got a new lease of life in what I'm doing here. For me, what it was for me, like when we made that ad, there was a transition phase for you. Like you went from thinking that you need other people to run the business to, I felt like you fell back in love with barbering when we put your prices up. Yeah. And you realize, shit, okay, like I can actually do this. I actually don't need to get another person in the business to make more money. I haven't realized how much value I've actually built now with you and your lad now. And then I think on the back of that now, where we're going with the business is, now you've realized that value. Now we're allowing that value to do all the talking for us rather than us going out and trying to talk for the value.
Yeah, I would say one of the key things was doing the price increase. I think doing the price increase really gave me an opportunity to step back and like maybe slow down a bit and really focus on my work. And I think that had been lacking for maybe the last 6 months. I think I love what I do. It's my hobby at the end of the day as well as my job. But I think at times within your career, especially if you've been doing it, I mean, I've been doing this 13 and a half years now. And I think I just maybe got to the point was I just got, it got stagnant. It got it wasn't going anywhere. It was just kind of Groundhog Day, going to work, coming home, working late, stuff like that. And I think really by increasing the value of my service, I actually increased my level of service as well, which I really, really, that's what I purely focus on, level of service as well as the haircut. But I think being able to give a little bit of time and value to my work and to my working day, and by increasing the price obviously means I have to do less haircuts during the day, but that means I can focus more on the haircuts that I'm doing. So really what's happening is the customer's getting more value for money at the end of the day, which I think is, from a customer's point of view, I think that's the key thing.
Sure, that's what we're here to do, right? Like I think so many barbers, especially the new guys, like they only know how to do a fade, and
Yeah.
they don't think that they are serving the client. They just think, oh, you're the client because I can do a fade. Everyone, I'm fucking Billy Big Bollocks on Instagram. And like I think I spoke to you briefly before, I think how the world's going right now is there's so many people trapped in the middle, and you've either got to be fully locked in with AI, or you've got to be kind of what we're doing is we're kind of going real old school and like offering that mad high service value, giving that client experience, dropping in with over the above, feeling when you walk into the shop and you're like, hey, this isn't just a shop where you come in, sit, wait, get a haircut and go. You've got different, I mean, I know personally from speaking to you, but if you want to go and check out Stuart's Barbershop, it's the old school barbershop Glasgow. I'll link it in the video here. Go and check out his shop because it's one of my rated barbershop clients now that have got a really nice shop and I'm jealous of. But one thing that Stuart does is something very similar to myself, and he's got this barbershop where there's people from all walks of life, that it doesn't matter what the fuck you do outside of that business, but as soon as you walk in, it's like everyone's on the same level. You'll have like a criminal speaking with a judge and a banker being friends with a policeman, and it's just people from all these walks of life. And when you come in, everyone's just there for the experience. Am I right in saying that? Do you agree with that?
I would say 100%, Jay. I think the whole kind of the whole ethos of the old school barber shop is it's very 1920s, 30s themed. I think the way that we greet the customers and everything like that is very traditional and met within the shop. And no disrespect to anyone, but men are men within the shop. And I think one of the other key things to the shop is that you have fathers bringing their children into the shop, and these children are getting to see how men are, how they greet each other and how they discuss things. And everyone's, I mean, if somebody has a different opinion on the shop floor, it makes no difference whatsoever. The whole point is for people to come together and they can share their differences. Yeah, we're not all going to agree on things, but I mean, that's life at the end of the day. But the best way is if people can look, see fresh ideas or hear new bits of knowledge, and if they agree with that, that's what it's all about. Because at the end of the day, people are learning from people, and that's the key to the old school. And I mean, one of the things as well is we've got a chessboard in the middle of the shop, and it's amazing to see. You just have fathers and sons having chess battles during the day, and it's awesome. Do you know what I mean? It's the atmosphere is like no other that I've ever experienced anywhere around Europe that I've ever been within barbershops.
That's old school, authentic, proper old-fashioned barbershop with not old-fashioned barbershop, old-fashioned morals, like where men used to be men, like you said. I love that. When we first started working together, you was a little bit apprehensive of putting up the price because you was a bit nervous of that. But then we went and done it. And do you ever have that moment of like, why didn't I just fucking do it before?
Yeah, well, again, though, I mean, one of the things that, from a personal point of view, I have a strong personal relationship with the majority of my clients, and one of the things that I see, especially over the last couple of years within the UK, is, I mean, the price of things is went through the roof. Now, I don't want to get to the point that I price my clients out of that, and they say that I'm not giving them value for money, so they might go elsewhere. But I mean, I think by looking at the response over the last month, again, if I look back on it, I think the customers are pretty happy, and I think by paying an extra couple of quid here or there, I don't see that being an issue.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Appreciate you sharing that. And I kind of want to move away from money now, like because money is the end result that everyone's in the game for. But like, my why I do this is to help people personally. And,
Mhm.
part of that is like helping them become better people, becoming accountable, making sure that, increase their leadership skills, that they're offering value, that they do the best that they can. That's what kind of why I really wanted to work with you, because I could see that you were really meticulous on delivering value to your customers. And that's something that resonated with me and thought, okay, cool. I just need to help you with a few different things in the business and we'll be we'll be good to go. We'll be playing golf in January. That's what I've and
Yeah,
now look, we're playing golf. You're coming out to play golf in January with me. So that's
yeah.
but let me just ask you this question, Stuart. How did how did this program and coaching with me, and we're still going through it, how has it changed you so far, beyond just making money? Tell me about like any mindset shifts that you've had, or anything else that you've sort of seen yourself. A lot of time partners pick up on when they've been with me and they're like, oh, look, fucking hell, you've changed the way you think, you're calmer. What was that like for you in your own words?
Definitely, I definitely think I feel as if I've got a weight off my shoulders because I've got someone to share ideas with, and again, being able, I mean, having the access to yourself, Jay. If I have an issue, I mean, I can drop you a message, and you can. I mean, last week you get back to me within, I think it was like 3 minutes, which was pretty impressive. But I think the key is just being able to have somebody to liaise with is so important in this business.
Yeah. How do you feel like, off the back of that, we'll get into a little discussion here, because I feel like in the UK especially, and the USA, there's this stigma, like if you're a barbershop owner, everyone tries to be Billy Big Bollocks on their own, and they really not. Do you know what I mean? It's really about being a man. It's looking for help, asking for help, working with someone else. Because, let me jump on the back of that and just say, like, in the UK right now, I think there's a big ego problem with barbershop owners specifically. They open a little shop and they think that they're operating out of Buckingham Palace or something else. It's crazy. And I always see it myself. Like, there's this: if you're the business owner, you weren't necessarily making a lot of money, but you'll try to gatekeep something that don't work. You try to hold on to and control staff members when you shouldn't be able to do that. You'll use them in a specific way. I see that all the time. People don't get paid fairly. People don't get treated correctly. Now, these kind of people I work with, I don't want to work with people like that. People I work with want to go and grow together. And I think one of the biggest things for me that I'm doing right now which is incredible for me, because I've been in the game for 25 years and not seen it myself, is I'm trying to bring like-minded people in the same room. Whereas it feels like the industry is trying to, like, all these big products and brands and all these fucking influencer barbers that are out there on IG, they're like trying to be one-man bands and be the best in their little pond. And I'm trying to bring people together and make a big lake. Does that kind of resonate with you at all?
I think if you look at what's going on in social media, I think a lot it's just total fake. I mean, there's false promises all over. I mean, if you're looking at if you're a young barber coming into the game and you see these guys on Instagram that are saying you're going to be making 100K within the first 12 months of your career, I would say to them they're full of shit, because you're never going to make 100K the first year unless you win the fucking lottery. Do you know what I mean? So I
Oh,
think I think if somebody, if you're looking at social media and things like that, I think what you need to do is you need to find a mentor. I think the key is in any game is find a mentor that's been through the problems that you're going through, and then as we've touched on before, it's been able to share your problems and finding answers to the problems, and that's how you can move forward.
yeah. I mean, I don't know about you. We're in the same age bracket, man, or the same era, not that far away. What would you say? What the incredible thing now is, with the good thing about social media is don't you fucking wish that when you was 20 years old you had access to mentors and shit, and how further along ahead would you be, right?
100%. I mean, if you look at anything now, I mean, touching on the golf, man. I mean, if you go back 20 years ago and you try to start out in golf, it's fucking impossible, because you were looking at a magazine, or maybe you might get your hands on a DVD or something like that. But the access to information right now is like no other. I mean, if you want to become a barber, I mean, pretty much you can go on Instagram and you can watch guys doing haircuts. Yeah, at first you're probably not going to have a fucking clue what they're doing, but the more and more you watch that, you're going to get an understanding for it. But I mean, the access to information on Instagram and Facebook, and fucking, I don't use Twitter and stuff like that, but it's unbelievable. I mean, you can look at anything at the touch of a button, so it's very impressive. But on the other hand, as I said earlier on, I fucking hate technology, so I obviously looking at the program and stuff like that, I was always kind of maybe try to escape from using it and maybe not using it as much as I should. But I think talking to yourself, Jay, as well, and looking at marketing and get being able to let people see what you're doing and sharing that is massive for any business now. So it's something that you have to basically join the bandwagon with.
It's all about like sharing your story. Like it's just for me, I don't use social media in the way to expose myself or to blow up my ego like a lot of other people. You'll never see me post a picture of a haircut. I'm a barber of 25 years. I've got 51 staff members, 14 barbershops. You never see a haircut picture on my profile because I'm not claiming to be the best barber in the world. And even the person who says they are, there's always someone better than you, no matter what you do anyway, right? So, I mean, social media for me is all about just telling your story and then having people buy why you do stuff, which is number one rule in marketing. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it, right? So I think that transitions into the barbershop as well. And that's the kind of story. And this is a great loop around back to wrap up this interview, is that exactly the direction we're going now. We started on a journey that we wanted to build and get more people in the business, but actually we've come full circle and like actually what we need to do is tell your story and where you've been across the world and the history of the business, and that's what's going to make a shitload of money for us here.
Yeah, I think getting out and just doing it naturally. I mean, but I think if we were to force anything, that, as I discussed with you, I think mistakes might be made. We might bring in the wrong people, and I'm really staying on the fact is I'm looking at people I want to bring in. So I think if we do it naturally and put it out there and start using more kind of marketing techniques through Instagram and stuff like that, I think what will happen is the universe will bring the right people towards the old school.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Some final thoughts, Stuart, just real quick. If someone's sitting on the fence watching this at home about joining this program, what would you tell them? Don't sugarcoat it. Don't bullshit. Just be brutally honest in your own words. What would you tell them?
I would say that don't hesitate if you're having problems and you want to speak to and share ideas with barbers within the industry that aren't going to judge you in any way. There's no fucking egos or anything like that. I would say get in contact with Jay and he'll be able to help you out.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Stuart, thanks for keeping it real today, brother. It's been really great to catch up with you. Loved you being a part of this program. Looking forward to the future. Really looking forward to January when you come and have a game of golf and I kick your ass at golf.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. But listen, it's been really great. Thanks ever so much for your time today. If you are watching this video and if you're ready to stop playing small games and actually build a six-figure business, just like my man Stuart here on this call, you can book a call down below with me on the link in the description. Let's make it happen. Stop procrastinating. Just get some shit done in your life. Take some action like all of my clients on this channel. Drop me a message or subscribe to me at least on YouTube and I'll give you some free game for more success stories like this. I will see you guys real soon. Thank you, Stuart. Thanks for being a great
Thank you. Cheers.